cam is showing you the battleground, but you can always use the tactic cam, which is a tool that will let the player observe the surrounding to decide what to do, the best move to take. And as you can see in the top right part of the screen, the mission objective, it's a reach area. So it's not really important to defeat the enemy there, but to really decide the best way, uh, possible way to arrive directly at the objective. So the player will have two choices: directly in front of the enemy, that seems a little bit risky, or moving a little bit on the right to use the cover and being protected by the attack of the rabbits. So what you see right now is Xavier, which is controlling the heroes. In this case, the
I
heroes
sleep.
can perform three different type of action. As we
Everyone.
are early in the game, right now we have only movement and attack. Later on there will be techniques, which is
If you touch the
way
bed,
more,
you go to
say,
sleep.
an indirect way to deal with an enemy, and it's more magical. But the blue line is defining where the characters can move. And in this case, Xavier could, for example, go behind the cover in order to be half protected, or just go in front of the enemy.
So as soon as you press, the character moves. And like David said, we can attack, but we'll show first the movement phase itself. You can do whatever you want.
I wonder if they can see the chat.
Then
Because this must suck for the developers to see your chat and get all this
You
hate.
can advance towards another corner, such for example as Rabbit's Luigi.
I saw Daki Makura in the chat. That's funny.
Move the cursor behind one of your teammates in order to activate what we call the team jump. The team jump is expanding your area of movement, allowing you to go much further than your normal area of movement.
Right.
And this is also allowing you to fill the gaps, such as the small river that you can see in front of you.
Oh my god, this looks like the least engaging thing ever. My attention span can't handle.
basically here, we just finished the movement phase, and now we can see in this fight that the enemies are positioned in a way to Zerg you. They called Ziggies. Those guys don't have a lot of life points, but they're they dash you all the time. So it's good that I'm on the other side with Mario thanks to the team jump. So when you're ready, you press A, you attack, and what you may have seen just over the enemy is the hit percentage.
So first and foremost, it's a terrible idea to get everybody guns, because one of the main things about strategy games is spacing. And if you have guns, that takes away the whole point of having this water here.
The enemy in the process, he's zapped out, and in terms of story,
Because it's just
basically,
like,
they're not dying.
how do I
They're
explain
going
it?
back to the hub.
Like you had to
Rabbits.
use two people to
So
get
we're
across the
actually
water,
saving
right?
the rabbits
That's
here.
great.
But if he has a gun, it doesn't matter regardless if he got across the water or not, because you could just shoot them across said water. And it doesn't look like it has to matter about a grid either, it homes in on them.
And by defeating them, you are removing this force from them. And they are part of the gameplay loop of the players, because they will go back to the pitch castle, and the more you free them, the more they will build a structure that will help the player throughout their adventure.
So we saw there Mario was attacked, but he's behind a full cover, so the enemy had 0% chance of hitting him. But the cover did take damage, I noticed. So
Exactly. So it's actually something really important in the combat itself. There are actually, aside one that we have later in the game, no cover that is really infinite. Like they have this amount of damage, and if they get destroyed, you don't have any cover anymore to defend yourself. So, for example,
The new
here,
XCOM looks
if
great.
I go and attack this enemy, I know I'm not gonna.
This is like a ripoff of
0%
Fire Emblem.
chance, but just to show
Not
you the
even!
damage on the cover
You
itself.
can't even call it a ripoff of
This is
Fire
the
Emblem,
cover,
it
so
just
you
looks
can see the enemy
terrible.
destroyed. And the one you see here next to Rabbit Luigi is
Plus that kind of sounds dumb, it
cover.
doesn't look like it plays
This
like
one is
Fire
a bit
Emblem.
more tough, so 3 hits. So basically, that's really important in the game itself to use this. The enemies will do it, you will do it. So
And this is cool because you can also use interactive elements in the battleground, such as the rabbit fight. The rabbit fight really helps you to go in other places where you couldn't reach just with your aerial movement.
So when you use that tacticam, spot those pipes, and use that to plan out your strategy.
Exactly. So that's why the observation part is important, and we gave this tool to the player in order to really study if they want to the battleground.
Definitely, it does count for.
Well, to be fair, this game could have been much worse.
To really figure out that turn-based strategy and find out what the best advantages you have, especially in this new.
In fact, I feel like it's playing it too safe, if anything.
Exactly. Here, it's even we showed some gameplay yesterday at the conference. It was just a fight after. This one is before, like David was saying, we don't even have the techniques. But one thing here that is really important.
One moment.
In terms of design and philosophy was you see the water. This is creating your gap. So it teaches you to use team jump a lot. But the enemies do not use team jump. Those guys are dashers. You don't have globetrotters. Globetrotters is the second archetype we have. They do team jumps. But here we really want to show the player like, hey, you can protect yourself. They will dash you eventually because they will take the pipe at the end of the map, trying to rush you. But it depends because according to where you are in the fight, we never know what the enemies can do. But they should do that in this map because again, we want to teach you. This is the way you can play as well. You can reach, bigger zones and reach new areas, but also you can go over gaps like water, and this is quite cool. And later in the game, you'll even have height. So if you go up there, you have an advantage in terms of damage. So it starts to build up. We start to put the ingredients together, and this map is 30 minutes into the game, so it's really a good map to start to get those things.
Yeah, the player is still learning here. So it's really up to them where to move. They want to go directly against the enemy and risking to be dashed, but they maybe could arrive at the objective sooner, or they want to take maybe a more safer route like the one we are taking right now, because we are moving, helping each other using the protection of the corals.
Right. And you had mentioned earlier that
My lack of sleep
is really
is becoming more apparent now that I'm watching
there
this.
are different battles where you actually have to defeat all the enemies.
So here it's a tricky map. Of course, we're playing, we know pretty much the map, but for the player it's going to be a first tricky map because they could take this as, oh, we like to defeat all the enemies, but the issue is that we have a lot of the respawn, and the more you wait, the more enemies will spawn, and it's going to be very complicated. So here, it's a reach objective. You need to reach. One of your character needs to be in the zone, and this is something key for the players to do. And
holy shit, my meme got 160 something notes.
Defeat
That's pretty lit.
This type of enemy, reach, escort, and those type of objectives throughout the game to really challenge the player again to do the right decisioning when it matters. So Rabbit Luigi is really close now. He's not close enough because we made it
close enough to arrive at the mission objective.
Definitely, there's something that we've never seen before, really, with Mario, and he's pairing up with this mashup. But also, we have Mario for the first time really using a weapon, a projectile weapon. And,
Yeah, Mario has never been afraid to take whatever power-ups are available to him. So it's cool to see these new types of weapons that he can play with.
He's adapting to his surroundings.
Right.
Yes, plus they are very, very light-hearted and funny. Because the weapons in our game are not just there in order to damage the enemy, but they are also a tool to
So wait, do they just not even have to kill anybody? They just need to get to a waypoint? What kind of shit?
An enemy on the ground. There is a particular enemy using the techniques. You can freeze his face so he cannot speak anymore, therefore he cannot use the techniques. There is someone very good at shooting. You can hink his face so he cannot see you.
Why does this exist?
You can burn enemies so they are running with their bottom on fire. And there is also propagation, so if an enemy on fire is touching another enemy, it will propagate. There are some crazy behavior that could happen.
Oh god, not no! More melee
the
HD memes.
So you can chain multiple effects, and the output will be very, very crazy.
Also, when you finish the fight, you can go back, of course, to the zone in free movement and exploration mode. all the coins that you have on your battlefield is because when you destroy covers, you gather coins as well. So even if you hit an enemy behind a cover and the cover is destroyed, it's rewarding as well for the player. So you can go back and buy better weapons thanks to coins. But if we have a few minutes, we just wanted to show something as well here. Just a quick fact, you don't want that way for the fight itself. But in fact, the most effective way, let's say advanced way, would have been to go that way. Even if it's dangerous, the first round you get, dash and stuff. Second round, you really dash the enemy.
Let me read this.
So a good strategy would be.
Welcome to the Melee
on the
HD
right
waiting
side, use a good
room.
damage output into the
What is it? Our aim is to blank.
Rabbit Luigi is not really good with his weapon, but he's good with dashing. So
Let me
you can
read
put it in
this.
front line and then
Oh shoot!
go
The
really
Melee
quickly
HD
to the zone
waiting
here.
room.
So yeah,
Our
we
aim
just
is
revealed
to blank.
something for people when it will play. They know how
At
to play
show.
the map now. But yeah, it's up to the player to decide. They can go front or go left, right, whatever they have in mind. They can go for it. Depends on the play style itself.
Because a good tactical game should give the player the choice to choose their strategy.
A good tactical game wouldn't have Mario and fucking Rabbids.
Customize your character, which kind of weapon you
Welcome to the Melee HD waiting room. Our aim is to make your waiting experience as comfortable as possible. Please take a seat and enjoy your time. We provide adequate content to help you sleep until it's time for Melee HD.
For the battles to have only one possible solution, but multiple.
So let's go to the Peach Castle to show.
No, not more.
We didn't present it yet, although it's a big part of the game, of course. So of course it's a Peach Castle. It was not destroyed by the arrival of the rabbits, so thank God. This is good. But the issue, or let's say the challenge for Peach.
What is that running animation?
As well, is that the castle will evolve as the game progresses. So as you progress, you'll see more stuff built by the rabbits a bit randomly, or not randomly like this one, Battle HQ, to change your team, change your weapons, change your skills in the skill tree, access new worlds. So this one is the first one, Ancient Gardens. And you also have many puzzles around that you have to solve. And as you finish a world, you get new contextual actions and exploration as well, so you can progress and see other places that you couldn't go before. So this is key as well for the player to, go back to the hub and see what they could do now that have new abilities. So yeah, this hub will evolve throughout the game, and we won't be able to show today, the other worlds, but as soon as you finish a world, you can access a new one with this new ability, and the cannon takes you and just shoot you in the world itself. And we just saw an example here of.
I'm legitimately falling asleep watching this.
We have with the right coins that we have in the
I don't
game as
think
well.
they pay attention to the chat at all. If they did this cancer game, would probably be removed from the stream.
Museum where you get all your collectibles from the game. You can gather in the game. This one is.
That's
still
true.
broken. When you're,
And they probably would have started banning people the second they said Project M. Speaking of which, I'm going to spam that in the chat.
In the world itself of Mario, and it will be useful in the future. You can go back and revisit and get better scores in all the fights that you've done, and also other elements that here are teasing that the player will discover, new worlds here, etc., etc. So that's really an important part of the game as well, this hub and how it will evolve with the game itself.
And I do remember that the hub was one of the first things that we decided to do within the game, like really a point of contact for the player to really help me throughout the whole game. And I remember
Next game, next game, next game.
We were told that we were about to work with Nintendo on a game that was featuring both Mario and the Rabbids, and we immediately understood that it was a lifetime opportunity. We worked.
You bet your
really
ass it was a
night
lifetime
and day
opportunity.
in order to find something new
And you fucking
for the Rabbids,
squandered it.
but, as well for Mario. So as we are,
Ugh, I need a pillow.
we should use them to propose something fresh, something new in the turn-based combat games. But at the same time, we wanted to stay true to the Mario universe. And therefore, we decided to mix those two different phases, but in a seamless way, combat and adventure, and